Title: NONKU CHHAARAA BHOOT. Chapter 1: The Dance of Doom. In a small village on the outskirts of Assam, there lived a mischievous boy named Shubham. Known for his silly antics, Shubham had a strange hobby: dancing wildly in the fields near the emu farm. One particularly sunny afternoon, Shubham decided to add a new twist to his usual routine. With no one around to watch, he began to dance by shaking his hips energetically, his bare lower half exposed to the open air. Nearby, a group of emus, large and curious birds, grazed peacefully. These creatures, not known for their intelligence, noticed the unusual movement in the distance. To one particularly hungry emu, Shubham's moving organ resembled a tasty fruit swaying in the breeze. Before Shubham could realize the danger, the emu charged at him with lightning speed. With a swift peck, the bird plucked his NONKU penis right off and sprinted away, holding its prize high. Shubham screamed in horror and pain, watching as the emu disappeared into the dense jungle, heading straight for the Amazon forest. Chapter 2: The Curse of the NONKU CHHAARAA BHOOT. Shubham was left devastated. In the days that followed, he tried to chase the emu, to no avail. The jungle was vast, and soon, Shubham found himself lost in the dense Amazon forest. Days turned into weeks, and Shubham, weakened and hopeless, succumbed to the wild, leaving his body behind. But death was not the end. Shubham's spirit was too restless to move on. The injustice of losing his precious NONKU transformed him into a ghost, doomed to wander the earth in search of his missing organ. He became the infamous NONKU CHHAARAA BHOOT, a ghost without a penis, eternally searching for it. Chapter 3: The Hunt Begins. NONKU CHHAARAA BHOOT became a legend, a tale that parents would tell their children to keep them in line. "Don't go dancing near the emu farm," they'd warn, "or NONKU CHHAARAA BHOOT will come for you." But the ghost was more of a nuisance than a true terror. Shubham's spirit would appear in the dead of night, moaning and groaning, asking people if they had seen his NONKU. He'd peek through windows, look under beds, and even rummage through wardrobes in his desperate quest. His ghostly presence was more pathetic than frightening, and soon, villagers began to find his antics more amusing than scary. Chapter 4: The Ghost's Encounter with the Emu. One night, the NONKU CHHAARAA BHOOT finally came face to face with the emu that had stolen his NONKU. The bird, now old and wise, still lived in the jungle, having evaded many predators thanks to the mystical power it gained from Shubham's organ. As the ghost confronted the emu, he realized that the bird had no intention of returning his NONKU. In fact, it had long since buried it somewhere deep in the forest, where even it couldn't remember. Shubham's ghost, exhausted from years of searching, decided it was time for a change. He couldn't get his NONKU back, but maybe he could find some peace. The emu, perhaps out of guilt or just confusion, offered him a deal: become its eternal companion, and together they would roam the jungle, playing pranks on unsuspecting travelers. Chapter 5: The Legend Continues. And so, the legend of NONKU CHHAARAA BHOOT took a new turn. Shubham's ghost, now with a purpose, became less obsessed with finding his lost NONKU, and more focused on having fun. Alongside the emu, they became a notorious duo, causing harmless mischief throughout the jungle. The villagers' stories evolved, and soon, the tale of the NONKU CHHAARAA BHOOT was one of humor rather than horror. Children would laugh at the thought of the ghost and his emu friend, imagining the pranks they'd pull on travelers. But still, every once in a while, on a particularly quiet night, some say you can hear the ghost whisper, "Have you seen my NONKU?" A reminder that, even in the afterlife, some things are hard to let go.